Hey there, YouTube. It's your boy King Scourge here, and I'm giving you guys an ABC Deck Profile update. It's been a while since I've done this deck, updated this deck, but I've been after a lot of reprints and getting some good hands and some good cards. I've come up with a deck profile that I think is pretty solid for how it plays. Without further ado, let's get started with the deck profile, guys. Okay, so first thing, we have to run your pieces. So we run 3A Assault Core. Basically, its effect, once per turn, it's a level 4 light machine unit type monster. Once per turn, you can target one light machine monster you control, equip it to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it. A monster equipped with this card is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Also, if the equipped monster be destroyed by battle card effects, destroy this card. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one of the Union monster from your graveyard to your hand. You can add another A. A Assault Core is actually limited a couple ban lists ago because with the Firewall Dragon loot. It was like a year ago. He was limited for 3 months, which kind of sucked. But, you know, you have to run 3 of him because he's part of the pieces search here from graveyard and stuff. And with link summons, it doesn't say if it's destroyed. It just says if it's sent to the graveyard. So if you use the monster, if you equip it to there's a lot of light machine targets that you can equip to, and then use that to link summon into some of your link monsters, and then its effect will still go off. So you run 3A. Next you run 3 B Buster Drake, or as I like to call him, B Buster Nut. Shout out to Tom, by the way, for coming up with that meme. But B Buster Drake is kind of has the same effect where he can equip a light machine type monster. Basically, it makes that monster unaffected by spell effects. If it's sent to the graveyard, then you can add one Union monster from your deck to your hand. So you have to run 3 of him too. Next, we run, of course, 3 Sea Crush Wyvern. This is just staple in any ABC deck. This basically makes a light machine type monster that you equip it to unaffected by trap effects. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Union monster from your hand. So, and all these effects aren't once per turn, so it's really nice to kind of get your pieces, send, and then get their effects all at once. And then you banish them from grave, because you can banish them from field or graveyard to summon ABC Dragon Buster, which is technically this deck's boss monster. Next, we run 3 Gold Gadget. Basically, what Gold Gadget does is when it's the same as Silver Gadget. When they're either Gold or Silver Gadget or normal or special summon, you can special summon level 4 machine type monster from your hand. It's has really good synergy with your ABC parts and stuff. So, and then if it's destroyed, you can special summon one gadget monster from your deck, except for Gold Gadget. You can only use one Gold Gadget effect once per turn, and only once per that turn. But you can trigger it on your opponent's turn too, which is really helpful. And of course, for the rank 5 plays, we run triple Galaxy Soldier. This is the last monster you run 3 of, but it just helps you go into infinity. What Galaxy Soldier basically does is you can send one other light machine type monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon a card in defense mode. When it's special summon, you can add one Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. So basically, you search another Galaxy Soldier, and its effect isn't once per turn. The searching effect. The summoning requirement isn't once per turn, but the searching effect is. And again, you run a few rank 5s to help you go into your Cyber Dragon Nova and Infinity and stuff like that for other rank 5 plays. Next, for the 2 ofs, I decided to bump Silver Gadget down to 2 just because, in my opinion, it kind of bricks with 3 and 3. There's like no reason to run 3 and 3. Matter of fact, but at the same time, you have a majority of your deck are level 4s with your pieces, so it really does help in certain scenarios. But I feel like 3 is a little bit bricky because you can only use each effect once per turn, so it's like, okay. So that's why I run 3 gold and 2 silver. You can completely adjust this. It's completely up to you guys. Excuse me. I have something in my throat. Next, we run the Symphonic Warrior engine. We run 3 guitar. It's a 7 scale, and the only reason why we run the 3 guitars is because we also run the 2 mics as well. You could bump this down to 1, but I feel like 3 and 2 is pretty good, in my opinion, because what the guitar does is, and when you set it as a pendulum scale of 7, you can discard a card and then special summon a Symphonic Warrior mics from your deck. With mics, he gives you an additional normal summon. So Andy's are level 5. And if you ever kind of open up with the mics, you still have one in deck, assuming you don't banish off of desires, and you kind of have a pseudo pendulum scale to kind of help you out. And type pinches doesn't happen very often, but you can kind of use it as fodder. You can adjust this ratio too. Some people do 2 mics or 2 guitar, 1 mics. I like playing 2, and again, I actually might adjust that depending on the scenarios. But I like running 3 and 2 at the moment. I actually, and seriously, now I'm thinking about it, might bump mics down to 1 and guitar at 2, just for have a little bit more room. Next, we run a few hand traps, 2 Valor, hand traps, negate monster effects. Say hand trap format. 2 Ash, again, hand trap format. You don't need to run 3. You can just run 2 and be fine with that. If you want to run 3 Ash, you can. And then this is my spice. I play 2 Torque Tune Gear, just to add a couple of synchros into my extra deck a little bit. And you can kind of set up more negates. And it is a light union machine, so it's like you can equip it, and then the monsters treat it as a tuner. And actually it works with any monster. So I play 2 just because I do run Pot of Desires in this deck, and in case I banish one, I want to be able to have one that I can see. But you can equip it to a monster, and then it gains 500 attack and defense. So, and it's treated as a tuner, so you can do stupid shit. This is just my spice, though. You don't have to run this, but I do run a couple of synchros. It's just my spice, because I have a little bit of extra room in the extra deck at the moment. And for the last of monsters, we play 1 heavy mech support armor. When it's summoned, basically what you get to do is you get to special summon a union from graveyard. So again, you can get back your pieces and help you go into more XE plays and stuff like that. It's completely up to you whether you want to do that, but again, I just like seeing it. And then also you can equip it, and then the light machine monster you equip it to can't be targeted by opponent's card effects, which kind of helps out your AZC Dragon Buster for targeting removal and stuff like that. So that's it for the monsters. Now the spells are pretty self-explanatory. You still have to run 3 Union Hanger. I know Terraforming, with the recent ban list, Terraforming got hit to 1, which really kind of crippled a lot of my decks, but it's not too bad. Metaverse also got hit to 1. So I'll explain another substitute that I have, but you want to see this as quick as possible. Basically, when it's activated, you can add 1 light machine type monster from your deck to your hand, and then once per turn, when a light machine type mutant monster is normal or special summoned, you can equip a light machine type monster to that monster, and then but it can't be special summoned the turn. So basically, you get out your pieces from deck when you special summon or summon another piece or whatever union monster. The 1 Terraforming, because it's limited, this kind of sucks. Otherwise, I'd play 2. My field spell ratio, my personal preference between field spells to terraforming and stuff before terraforming got limited would be 2 to 3. So for every 3 field spells you play, which in this case we play 3 Union Hanger, you would play 2 terraforming. So there is another alternative. You can play Metaverse. You can play a Metaverse, or you can play a Demise in the Land. Yeah, you can play Metaverse. You can play Demise of the Land. You can play Set Rotation, although I highly advise you don't. I mean, because you use up 2 copies of your Union Hanger, and it's like, what's the point of that then? Unless you take out a couple cards and substitute another random ass field spell and play it. But no, I would personally play Demise of the Land, which is a quick play, or play Metaverse. Those are like the only 2 options that I can see, without kind of screwing with the deck consistency. 2 Call by the Grave. It's a $5 common. Hand traps. Say fuck you to Ash, because because we do play Desires in this deck, so it's like fuck you to Ash, fuck you to Ghost Ogre, pretty much just in case I have it in hand. Next we play 2 Desires. I think 2 Desires is enough, because you run multiple copies of everything, which is not really that big of a deal. I still debate on Pot Desires once in a while, but in this format, it's like you can really work off of just the pieces that you need. You only need a copy of each of the pieces, unless you somehow banish all 3 copies of a piece. You don't have to freaking worry about it. The chances that are happening are actually very slim, and it helps you thin out your deck a little bit. One Monster Reborn, because it's Monster Reborn and it's at 1. Now for the traps. I play 1 back to the front. I played this at 2 at first, but you only need 1. Just for help revival with your ABC Dragon Buster. And Soul Charge is banned, otherwise I'd be playing a Soul Charge. I wouldn't even be playing back to the front. Next we play the Solemn package. We play, or at least I play 2 strikes, a warning, 1 Solemn Warning, and a Solemn Judgment. Or, sorry, this should be a Solemn Judgment. I'm playing a Scolding for now, so this should be a Solemn Judgment, just to let you guys know. Just as a heads up. And especially with Solemn Judgment at 3, you could all kind of alter that, but 2 strikes stop monster effects, and then a warning again, and then a Scolding in case you have something. Judgment's better, but this is what I have. And then for the last of the traps that I play at the moment, 1 Union Scramble. This can come in clutch. It's really a one of now, but it comes in clutch once in a while, so it's like, and you can use the discard to get your pieces back from banish or whatever. And of course, the 1 Metaverse, the 1 proxy of Metaverse, which I unfortunately do not have, but to make it round off the deck at even 45 cards. So that's enough that's the main deck. Here's the extra deck, guys, for you guys. So of course we play triple ABC Dragon Buster. You banish A, B, and C from field or graveyard to summon this thing. It's a 3K beater. You can banish a card during either player's turn by discarding a card. During your opponent's turn, you can tag out or tribute it, special summon 3 of your banished Union monsters to your field. And you will get, if you have Union Hanger on the field, you will trigger Union Hanger. So it really does help. That's one more reason why you should play cards that help you get out Union Hangers as quick as possible. Then we play, for the XZs, I play Plan B, 1 Baguska. For Plan B, you don't have to play it, but it's there, and it's generic. So if you have a bad hand, you can just sit on Baguska for 2 turns and screw your opponent over. It doesn't really affect links, which sucks, but whatever. Bujente Tsukiyomi, because again, draw consistency. Yugioh X to help search for your to be able to help search for your pieces and search the guitar, which allows you to discard fodder for the mics and fun stuff like that. Then we play, for the last of XZs at the moment, we play one Nova and one Infinity because Galaxy Soldier and the mics. So we only need one and one because you can only go in Infinity once per turn. So that's why I only play one. You can play two if you want. An Infinity is a negate. It's pretty standard. For the links, we play one Cleave Genius. It's kind of a negate because it's unaffected by spell and trap effects, which is nice. And if two monsters are summoned to its link point arrows at the same time, you can add one level 5 or higher machine type monster from your deck to your hand. And then you can negate effects by targeting a card on each field and negating their effects. So it's kind of nice. And you can fulfill that requirement because if you tag out with the ABC and then special summon your Union monsters for your pieces back from Banished, or with Unit Scramble, you can still help skip that search. I think it's a one-of, just because it's Cleave Genius. One Platinum Gadget. Basically what Platinum Gadget does is you can special summon a level 4 or lower machine type monster points to. And you can actually equip your pieces to him. It's stupid, but you can do it because he is a light machine. And if you switch over battle or card effect, you can special summon a gadget from your deck. The only problem I have with him, it would have been much better if he didn't have the restriction. The turn he's summoned, he can't be used for link material. Which, why? That's the one thing that pisses me off. You have to keep it. If you want to go link climb, you have to keep him on the field for at least one damn turn. And it's easy to do with the pieces, but it's kind of like, what the fuck? So I only play him at 1. I was playing him at 2, but with the amount of gadgets we have, but I think 1 is enough, only because that stupid requirement. Or that stupid summoning restriction. Now, I was debating on Link Force, but I decided ultimately I'm going to try out a Saryuja, because Saryuja is busted. Literally, Saryuja is literally, hold on. So basically, Saryuja, if you just need 2+ monsters with a different name. It has 3 link arrows pointing down to you. Not that you need all 3. But basically, if you use 4 different monsters with different names, or 3 different monsters with different names, you can special summon a monster from your hand. If you use 2 or more, every time a monster is normal special summon to a zone he points to, it automatically gains a 300 buff, both ways, 300 attack and defense. So if you summon a Dragon Buster and you have Saryuja, your Dragon Buster becomes 3,300. And then if you use 4 more monsters, you get to draw 4 cards and place 3 at the top of your deck in any order. He's getting a reprint in a month or in mid-October, and Dual Devastator, which thank God, because this card is. I'm surprised this card isn't banned, or Konami hasn't banned this card or limited it, because it's seriously broken. It isn't soft once per turn. So literally, if you have 3 different copies of Saryuja, you can just link 4 into Saryuja, link another 4. You get to draw 12 cards and put 9 at the bottom or whatever. It's so crazy. But another alternative option would be to play the Darkness Metal Dragon of Dark Steel, which is also link 4. But its requirements is 2+ monsters with the same type and attribute. And Darkness, the Red Ice Link monster, that's a promo, the last of the Shonen Jump promos, because they're discontinuing that service or whatever. But basically, you can target one of your banished monsters in your monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects negate it, and you can't special summon Link monster for the rest of the turn. And that monster placed on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field, which is nice. So you can just retrieve a free piece and then do shit with it. But I'm sticking with Saryuja at the moment but keep in mind that Darkness Metal, the Dragon Link is another good alternative option for this kind of deck, because you can kind of link, if you can keep Platinum Gadget on the field, or just so that way you can use less monsters, you can link climbing them, or you can use the other ones and use the pieces and trigger their effects. So it's completely up to you. Then we run the one Decode Talker, because let's be honest, Decode Talker and ABC Dragon Buster is kind of a win con. Because basically, if literally you can't target the ABC Dragon Buster, or your opponent can't really target anything because you contribute and negate and destroy the card. Not that you tribute ABC Dragon Buster, but it's kind of a win con. And then because we run Tortune gear, we do have a couple of synchros. One Stardust Dragon for negation, it's level 8, because what you can do is you can equip the Tortune gear onto one of the pieces, or anything for that matter. Since most of them are level 4, you can just freaking use 4 and 4 and go into a level 8 synchro. And then one Ally Justice Catastor, because you can run, I think you can run a Chimbara too, because 4 and 1 is 5. Any level 5 machine, doesn't have to be machine, but any level 5 monster would really do. But Catastor's kind of a substitute for Chimbara right now. Basically it immediately kills any monster that isn't dark. So it just automatically destroys the starting damage step, so there's no damage calc. So that is it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe for more content, and I will try to upload wherever my schedule allows it to. With that being said, your boy King Scourge is out of here. I wish you guys a good night. Later, YouTube.